Trust is everything for human rights defenders. When they go to document human rights abuses, with each click of the shutter, the photographs and videos they take call out to say, trust me, what I'm seeing is real. Trust the voice inside of yourself that what you're seeing is unjust, that people need help, and someone needs to be held to account. Digital tools and the internet have done wonders to create our visual age. And in theory, this should have been the greatest expansion of trust in human history. Instead, human rights defenders are overwhelmed with problems.
So Jonathan, you've been working on this issue for 2 years. Could you tell us about the Starling project?
Sure. So we started 2 years ago with the USC Shoah Foundation and Stanford's Department of Electrical Engineering to see how we could use new decentralized web protocols to advance human rights. So we brought together cryptographers and engineers, human rights lawyers and political scientists to figure out how we can think about new ways of storing history and authenticating history. And it's been an incredible journey. So there were 3 projects last year that we got really excited about. The first is that we took testimony of 55,000 survivors of genocide that the USC Shoah Foundation archived, and we're now decentralizing the storage of that testimony. So now anyone with just their mobile phone can be a part of preserving history, as opposed to relying on centralized servers that can do all the work. All of us together as activists, we together can help preserve human history. The second thing we realized is that our tools could be really powerful for journalists. And so we began an incredible journey with Reuters to help document the 2020 election. And then after the election ended, the 78 days between the election and Inauguration Day, they used our tools to help document and create a new archive to help seal into the record a critical history of those 78 days. And then finally, we have a project that we've been working on with a great social enterprise in Syria called Hala Systems. And there we've been doing work on the ground to help work on accountability, to document human rights abuses with mobile phone technology and new decentralized storage techniques, and ensure that all of that information can end up being admissible and presented in court for accountability.
Jonathan, you're doing amazing work, and I can't even tell you how excited I am that we're able to be a small part of it.
So for the last 2 years, we've been working on all sorts of research and prototypes and best practices to figure out how to responsibly and ethically deploy all of this technology. And now we've really arrived at a new point. We're ready to create a lab. And that's what we're here at RightsCon to announce this week, which is the creation of the Starling Lab at USC and Stanford. And we could not be more excited to now create a long-term home to study these exact issues and the effect that we hope to have on human rights. So Marta, you have been such an incredible partner to us over these last 2 years at both the Filecoin Foundation for the Decentralized Web and Protocol Labs. Tell us a little bit more about these organizations.
Well, I could not be more thrilled to get to work with you on your incredible mission. And I really think that your mission and the mission of the Filecoin Foundation for the Decentralized Web overlap in so many ways. Our mission at FFDW is to preserve humanity's most important information. And that's really what you're doing, is preserving humanity's most important information. Protocol Labs, where I also serve as general counsel in addition to being on the board of FFDW, is an open source research and development shop that has been working for years on IPFS and Filecoin, distributed storage networks that really make it possible for this type of content to be actually preserved and to persist. And so excited to have your content on the Filecoin network and to really ensure that this important work you're doing persists into the future. How do you think the development of the decentralized web has really changed your work? What's different about the way that you work now with the tools of the decentralized web versus how you would be working in Web 2.0?
I think part of what we're doing, which is different with decentralized technologies, is we're really marrying ethics and technology innovation on a level playing field. And we're saying you have to think about both. And that's part of why it's really exciting to work with the human rights community, is because that's basically a day-to-day proposition, right? For any NGO or human rights org, is they understand that they have immense responsibilities. And so we want to bring that ethic, we want to bring that spirit directly into the technology to help us design these tools, right? And to help advance them. A lot of people in this audience may be familiar with the crypto community at large. We want to say that the same confidence that trillions of dollars have been essentially banked on with crypto assets and cryptocurrencies, we can now take that same power and now move it into the realm of preservation and authenticity. And what's important about this is that also when you're using cryptography, you also open an array of possibilities of protection, not only of the information as it is, but also the identities of the individuals who are very bravely coming forward to do this work. And that combination of preservation and privacy, things that you've worked on for quite some time in your career, I think this is the realization of something really important, because human rights defenders have been really hamstrung in many ways in using digital tools. They might be in an exact place and time in documenting something that is absolutely certain in their mind, but the moment that they leave with that digital recording or image, that whole historical record is vulnerable. And so we want to change that. And we think that the DWeb community has the same principles and the same mission to very elegantly fit into this paradigm.
You've been doing so much incredible work these past 2 years, and I really want to know, what are you looking forward to in the future? What do these next 12 to 24 months and beyond look like for you?
So the Starling Lab is really just beginning. And for us at RightsCon, we are hoping to start such an important conversation. So let me tell you right here, right now, this week, what we're hoping to accomplish. The first is that we are hiring. So go to starlinglab.org/join, and you can find out opportunities about different job positions where you can now come and join us on our important mission. And the second thing is that we're offering up this week a different approach to grants. What we're going to do is we're putting an open call for proposals. So over the summer, we're going to be fielding all sorts of requests from the community for you to tell us how you think that you can use the Starling framework to help advance the mission of your respective organizations. And we really want to hear what people have to say and build a new grant program that's going to launch in the fall that will help empower all of these organizations. But we're not starting with any preconditions to this. What we're saying is that we want the human rights community to bring us a voice and a mission that will help advance their work. And we are going to be listening very closely over the next couple of months. Now, going forward, there are so many great advancements that we're already working on in the pipeline that we're going to be able to announce. New capture technology that's going to allow you in your mobile phones or even professional grade cameras to start to seal imagery and provide additional context around things, that from that camera all the way to the front page of the newspaper, we'd have a single unbroken chain of custody, which is going to be exciting to help fight misinformation and document human rights abuses. The second thing that we're working on is a whole new storage acceleration path, where now we can actually get people onto the decentralized web easily, quickly, and cheaply. And all those tools are now going to be available to individuals, and we're going to provide training to organizations that want to use those tools. And then finally, something near and dear to your heart as a GC, we are really focusing in on legal accountability. We know that these tools are so powerful to help provide some mechanism for justice to be rendered. And so what that will involve are a series of trainings and best practices that we're going to be working on with top human rights lawyers to allow organizations to work within the framework so that as they're in the field, they can ensure that what they're documenting will be able to be used in court. And that's not a simple proposition. That takes a lot of preparation, a lot of effort. And so we're really excited to use new tools, new techniques to make all that happen.
Jonathan, that is so amazing. I cannot wait to see how all of these projects turn out, and your work is just incredible. I could not be more thrilled that we get to work with you and support your amazing work and your amazing mission.
Thanks. Well, this is a really exciting new chapter for all of us. I think we're going to look back at something that happened here as really special for the human rights community to get new tools to both help them do their job, but also to change the internet as we know it, right? And it is so critical in this day and age to help re-architect this new paradigm for information.
Yeah, I could not agree more. I'm so excited that you're taking not just this rebuilding of the internet, but also using it for good, for human rights, and pushing humanity forward, not just technologically, but also from a human rights perspective, and really incredible work.
really exciting to be here, and thanks so much for having me. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for all your amazing work and for sitting down to chat.